Dear friends, welcome to my channel. I am Maya. Hope your day is so well. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe the channel. 90 Day. Darcey fears her marriage may be over as sister Stacey insists something is going on with her husband. Georgie seemed to have something heavy on his mind as he confronted his wife for the first time after their latest fight. Darcey is concerned about the state of her marriage after having another big argument with Georgie, who seems to have something equally as heavy on his mind. Beginning with Darcey debriefing her sister Stacey about the blow-up she had with Georgie the night prior. Stacey, hair unkempt after she got some action the night prior, ventured to Darcey's room the morning afterward to get the lowdown. As Darcey tried to untangle her sister's hair, she revealed that she slept by herself the night prior after she and Georgie got into a heated argument about the direction of their marriage. It was fine the first 2 minutes, but then it turned sour as usual, Darcey explained, later insisting that she did not instigate the fight. He kind of just went right into making me feel like I'm the blame for everything, she added. Darcey said Georgie did not send her a text or give her a call after storming out of their conversation, leaving her completely in the dark regarding his whereabouts. I don't know what he's thinking and feeling in this moment, Darcey said. It just doesn't feel good. But Darcey had an even bigger fear to grapple with. Was Georgie planning a future without her? She told Stacey that Georgie told her he was able to think a lot during their trip to Bulgaria, and worried that meant she might not always remain in the picture. It's probably him, thinking about his future for himself and not having me included in it, she suggested to Stacey. Darcey then revisited the idea of them wasting each other's good years, which the couple argued about hours before Darcey and Georgie's big fight later that evening. It was as if he was thinking about, he doesn't want to waste his time on me because he misses his family, Darcey thought, worried that her husband doesn't think that I've been like a family to him. Stacey remained suspicious of her brother-in-law, whom she previously criticized for allegedly stashing away money without his wife's knowledge. I smell something fishy, she declared. For hours, Darcey knew nothing about her husband's whereabouts after he stormed off during their argument. Darcey even showed her sister a text message she sent to Georgie, asking, "Are you okay? Will you be coming back to the hotel?" As Darcey and Stacey spoke, Georgie finally responded. "Not sure if you're really asking because you really care or you're just pretending that you care," he wrote, "because most of the time you are pretending that you care, but you don't give a fat all. Seems like he's the one that doesn't care and give AF," Darcey contended, suggesting her husband was projecting his feelings onto her. Stacey agreed. "You're not crazy." "I'm not crazy. There's something going on over there," she concurred. In a confessional, Stacey mourned her sister's relationship and prayed Darcey could find the peace that she needs so she can make the right decision for herself. As Darcey wept over her marriage woes, her sister gave her a much-needed pep talk. "You deserve a husband that's going to be there for you through thick and thin and not always flip things on you." "But he's always going to. He's never going to change," Darcey muttered before bursting into tears. "It's never going to happen. That's why it hurts. It's like a shield, stay away." Stacey then pulled Darcey in for a hug as her sister wailed. "Help me, Stacey," she cried as her twin rocked her in her arms and chanted, "Be strong, Darcey, be strong." Darcey was confused about how to proceed, but was clear that she did not want to feel manipulated, angry or worthless in her marriage. "If two people love each other, they can forgive and forget when we've been able to do that before in the past," she said in a confessional. "But something just feels different this time." Later on, Darcey and Georgie finally reconnected at a small bar. There, Georgie confessed to getting a hotel room for himself for the night, admitting that he needed time for myself just to figure out how I really feel, and especially after Bulgaria. One of the strongest feelings, Georgie realized, was that his love for Darcey was real. "I really care about you and I really love you," he told his wife. But Darcey seemed more concerned about the status of their relationship. "Are we even together right now?" she questioned before asking her husband, "Is this marriage going to work?" There needs to be some serious conversations and we're running out of time. "I need to feel comfortable," Georgie reiterated, but Darcey still did not understand. "Why don't you feel comfortable with me because I'm expressing how I feel to you and you can't handle the way I express myself?" After collecting herself, Darcey ordered Georgie to cut to the chase, so Georgie obliged. "When I see my sister with her kids in my family, and when my sister asked me if I wanted kids, this in a way kind of hit me," he explained. As Georgie spoke, Darcey hung her head. "I knew that's what you were going to say," she whispered as her husband explained himself. "Since this day," Georgie continued, "she asked me about if I want kids. 1. Keep thinking about this." But Darcey couldn't wait any longer. "Where do you want to go with this?" she demanded to know. 90-day. Georgie says he's wasting my good years with Darcey as Stacey calls him a half-ass version of a husband. Darcey and Georgie are both worried about wasting their good years in an unhappy marriage as trouble continues to brew between them. Georgie begins by expressing frustration with his wife after she aired out their dirty laundry to his parents during their trip to Bulgaria, and later did the same with her father. In a confessional, Georgie reveals his disappointment with Darcey's actions. He feels Darcey is making it seem like he is the problem in their marriage, while she is nothing but innocent. "This is not really help, our relationship," Georgie laments. "It's like more, kind of turning your family against me because, how is this going to help you? So this is so disappointing because since my last conversation with Darcey, I think we're better, but we're still not there yet." Back in the car, Darcey suggests, once again, that her husband is waiting for the right moment to leave their marriage. That's why he's stashing his money away, for that moment, she insists. "That's a little red flaggy," says Darcey's sister Stacey, who is sitting in the back seat. "Don't waste our good years." But Georgie pushes back against that notion. "Actually, I'm wasting my good years," he declares, leaving both Stacey and her husband Florian in shock. Meanwhile, Darcey seems unfazed, contending that she is very powerful on my own and exclaiming, "I'm 50 and fabulous." The dynamics between Darcey and Georgie are very strange to Florian, who is confused by how hot and cold their relationship is. "One day is good, one day is bad," he says. Meanwhile, Stacey was more blunt with her assessment. "I just feel like he needs more than just a half-assed version of a husband," she asserts alongside her husband. As the chaotic car ride continues, both Darcey and Stacey tell Georgie not to waste their time. Then, Stacey delivered one last jab. 90 days. Darcey and Stacey blow up at Georgie after learning he has been keeping a big secret. "I'm not stupid." Georgie Rusev has been keeping a secret from Darcey Silva, but she and her sister did not take kindly to that as their trip to Bulgaria came to a rocky conclusion. Georgie revealed that he was planning on purchasing property near his family in Bulgaria, unbeknownst to his wife Darcey. The big announcement was made in Darcey and Georgie's hotel room as they were packing up to return home from their multi-week excursion to Georgie's home country. But neither Darcey nor her twin sister Stacey Silva were happy to hear this news. "You should help save money so you guys can buy your own home in America, or a condo in Miami or something," Stacey argued. "Don't you want that and the American dream? What's the priority?" Darcey agreed, but Georgie seemed flustered, shaking his head in frustration as Stacey accused him of being selfish. Then, she accused him of hiding something. "I'm not stupid," Stacey said in a joint confessional with Florian Sukuj, and expressed concern about Georgie's decision to not consult Darcey about this decision. "He never really treats her like a wife. If you want to buy a property and maybe do it together." Georgie was sad to leave Bulgaria and all of his family, whom he just reconnected with for the first time in 13 years. "It's never easy to say goodbye," he told Darcey before the argument. Georgie told Stacey that the trip home left him feeling recharged. Stacey seemed pleased with his response. "I'm just happy you guys are leaving happy," she exclaimed. "It's good to see, because the Darcey and Georgie in Miami was not so happy, right?" However, Georgie suggested this would not be his last trip back to Bulgaria. In fact, he revealed he hoped to return to his home country again very soon in order to take care of some stuff. When Stacey pressed him for answers, he announced his plans to seek out the property. Darcey told the group that this was the first time she had ever heard of these plans, and agreed with Stacey's suggestion that Georgie was acting selfish. Georgie insisted he wasn't planning on purchasing a property in the immediate future, but Darcey was still concerned. "I don't even know how much money you have saved," she shouted. "How much money are you putting toward this? You still have to pay taxes too." Stacey then resumed her own efforts to get Georgie to spill the beans about his finances. "Why are you hiding money?" she asked after pointing out that everyone in the room knew he had recently been promoted at work. In a confessional, Georgie expressed concern that Stacey had become too involved in his relationship. "She's just putting these little bugs in Darcey's head," he explained, noting that the twins often team up against me, which he said can be hard to deal with that. Georgie defended his decision not to tell Darcey about his plans. "I didn't bring my plans up sooner because Darcey's always shooting it out and she don't even listen to me," he explained. In a confessional, Georgie suggested that these reactions are why he had a really hard time opening up to his wife about some of the more complex parts of life. "She'd overreact to little things," he said. "It's like stressing for no reason and it ruined the whole experience." Back at the hotel, Darcey got even more heated. At one point, she even suggested Georgie got what you came for after coming to America on the K-1 visa and getting his green card. But the conversation was only going in circles, so Darcey and Stacey made a beeline out of the room. Florian followed behind, leaving Georgie seething and all alone. When Georgie didn't chase after them, however, Darcey grew even more upset and stated that she had hit my limit. "I'm upset because after I spent this whole trip trying to tell him all I need and want is your transparency, Georgie just wants to brush me to the side and not feel like he can include me to grow our wealth," Darcey said in a confessional. "And like hello, we're married. Shouldn't I know about that stuff because it makes you feel a little used?" She continued, "Obviously it seems a little premeditated, like he was thinking and planning it for a while." Georgie crossed paths with Darcey, Stacey and Florian downstairs, where tempers flared once again. After suggesting once again that Georgie got what he wanted from her, she went back to shouting at him. "You could take all my money, Georgie. I'll send you a check tomorrow," she told her husband, who then suggested she and Stacey don't have no money. "You're always broke," he said with a smirk and shrug, as Darcey and Stacey chirped back at him. But he argued that they spent far too much money on shopping and clothes. Georgie was particularly fed up with Stacey, who kept injecting herself into his argument with Darcey. "I say nothing wrong to you, first of all, so don't get involved in our relationship too," he shouted at Stacey, suggesting she worry about her own marriage, which also had a rocky past. Darcey then jumped back in. "You don't want to say the truth anyway to anybody because you're full of secrets and you always will be," she asserted. "Stacey, he wants to fool me and I'm not going to be played for a fool." Darcey asked the front desk if they could get 2 separate cabs to take them to the airport. This made Georgie upset, as his sister was on her way to say goodbye to all of them before they headed home. "It's so childish, and Stacey's just adding more fuel to the fire," Georgie said in a confessional. "Darcey's always assuming the worst, even if she don't know about the situation. And that makes me even more upset." Georgie tried to help Darcey with her bags, but she refused to allow him. "You will not take me down," she said while wheeling her bags to the trunk of the car. "I don't live my life like that. How dare you? I've got daughters. You don't act like family. I want to be far away from you." Georgie then watched as the trio pulled away in their cab. A short time later, Georgie's sister Nicola and her family arrived to send him off. After Georgie finished exchanging hugs and handshakes, Nicola asked about Darcey, Stacey and Florian's whereabouts. They got mad, Georgie told his sister in Bulgarian. "I told her I want to come to Bulgaria and travel more often since I can come back now." In a confessional, Georgie said he was embarrassed to tell his sister that Darcey stormed off and why. "I don't want to worry them," he explained. Nicola was supportive of her brother, noting that if Darcey can travel alone, then so can her brother. But Georgie was more upset that his wife and sister continue to gang up on him. There needs to be compromise from both sides, not just one. You are one family, so you have to support each other, Nicola stated, but Georgie scoffed, things are not looking good. In the cab, Florian asked Darcey how she can continue living in such a roller coaster of a relationship. But she insisted she didn't want to, and emphasized that trust goes a long way. I deserve better than that, Darcey asserted. I'm really disappointed because I really felt like I connected with this family and, you know, they were loving and open to me too. And I don't know what the future's going to hold.